Hello. Yeah, I took a shower today. My hair's all fluffy. This happens whenever I take a shower. My hair is always. Whenever I take a shower, all of my hair goes poof, and it's like this. But I just want to say something, and I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm just saying this because this is scientifically proven. You cannot. How do I put it? You cannot logistically, logically, realistically, logically cannot transition to a different gender. And I know people will say, that's transphobe, that's thisophobe, that's thatphobe. Do not call people names. Okay, and my channel, I would not like it if you call us names. Because I'm not transphobe. I have friends who are trans. I'm not Islamophobe. I know several people who practice Islam. You know, I am not a xenophobe because a lot of my friends are immigrants. I am not a homophobe because I have uncles who are gay. I also have a friend who's also gay who loved Justin Bieber. What else can I think of? Anyway, and I'm not a Nazi because, first of all, I hate Nazis, and third of all, I'm not a Nazi. I don't support white supremacists, but I do care about my race, but not to the extent that I'm gonna commit crimes because of my race. Like, no, I just won't do that. That's dumb. I'm not anti-Semitic because again, I don't really care if anyone is a Jewish person or Islamic person or whatever they are. So what? So what if someone is a Jewish person? I'll still love them. You know, I don't care. Because I don't see them as a Jewish person. So they're Jewish. But it's like, how do I put it? Okay, put it this way. I have friends who are black. I know a few people who are black. I have a friend who has a daughter who's a mixed race, who's black and white. Do I care? No, because she's a great kid. And she's an adorable kid to hang out with, to be honest. And even if I were to be mean to her, my friend, her mom, would beat me up. She's white. And she would beat me up. I put it that way because she doesn't like it when people treat her kids like that, which is understandable. But my point is logistically, logically, and realistically, you cannot transition to a different gender because in order to do that, you have to genetically alter your genes. Because men are born with 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 a Y chromosome and an X chromosome. Women are born with only one of the two and then another of those same gene, or another same of the chromosome. So really, you in order to transition to a different gender or a different sex, because I don't like using the word gender, but in order to transition to a different sex, you have to genetically alter one of your. If you're a dude, you have to genetically alter one of your chromosome gene, to make it so you become a woman. And for right now, we may have great technology, but I highly doubt we have the technology that can mod genes. Because if we could do that, You know what that would be used for? It wouldn't be used for people to transition their gender. You know what it would be used for? To help get rid of diseases. And to help get rid of, gene deletion disorders, stuff like what I have. So that, my kids and their kids and their kids and their kids and so on and so on will not have to deal with the diseases I deal with. Because I'll tell you, if I have kids, if let's say I get married and I end up having kids, my kids will get a 50-50 chance of having the same thing I have. Why? Because of genetic. I have a genetic disorder called a gene deletion disorder, where some of my genes in my number 5 chromosome, but that's not its name, but essentially some of my genes in my number 5 chromosome are gone. They're not there. They're supposed to be there, but they're not. That's not its name, but that's essentially what happened. Is one of my genes, one of them, which is my tumor suppressor gene, is gone, which is why I have God knows. It's also why I have a lot of tumors growing out of me. So, but my point is all of that would be passed down to my kids with a 50-50 chance of them having that, and then their kids will have that, and then their kids, and their kids, and then so on and so on. And if we were to have the ability to get rid of those diseases, if we had the ability to genetically modify and get rid of those diseases, you know what we'd be doing with that? We would be getting rid of the diseases, not editing someone's genomes. That's not what we would not be transitioning into some whatever gender you want. We would be logically and realistically and logistically, we would be removing diseases from humanity, so we never have to deal with them again. Because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. Not whether you can have a vagina or a penis. That's not important. Kids are important. Kids are the future of society. And if we can't, if we cannot develop technology to be used for the greater good of humanity, to get rid of diseases and all sorts of stuff like that, and instead of doing that, we use it for the gender nonsense, we're screwed. Because all we're doing is destroying our future as a race. That's all we're doing, is we're destroying our future. Okay? And quite honestly, I would love for my kids to not have to live with diseases and stuff like Gardner syndrome. Stuff like that. They shouldn't have to live through that. And I know some autistic people may not like what I have to say, but the truth is there are parents out there that wish that their kids don't have autism. And I know that may be offensive to some people in the autistic community, but it's the truth. Okay, not every person is gonna like it that their son is autistic. Just like how I don't like that I have ADHD. And there's nothing I can do. ADHD runs in my family. I think it's my dad who was the first one who had ADHD, and then my older sister got it, I got it, and my younger sister got it. So it runs in our family, and quite honestly, I would love to get rid of ADHD. Why? Because it's not fun. You seriously think it's fun to forget where a lot of things you have, where you forget what a lot of these things is? That's not fun. That's what happens when you have ADHD, because people who have ADHD have short-term memory. In that they have short-term attention span, so they will forget. Like let's say I put my keys right here, and I'm looking around. I'm like, where's my keys? And I can't find them. It's because I forget about them. Why? Because unlike normal people with ADHD will just forget about them, and then it's like takes a while, and the goo is right there. Yeah, that is. Thank you to ADHD. Sorry, but it gets annoying over time. At least for me it does. Because I will spend almost an entire day looking for something when it's right there in plain sight where I can see it, but yet my ADHD brain just doesn't seem to notice it. You know? And the most annoying thing that I had to deal with, and that's not the only annoying thing. Another annoying thing is that talk non-stop. That's another annoying thing that a lot of people with ADHD have to deal with. Why? Because, well, people with ADHD, not all of them, but a lot of them, who has type 1 and type 3, which is type 3 is combined. Probably also include type 2. Talk non-stop. We will talk non-stop forever. And it's not fun. This is not fun for me. Because that means I can't have a normal conversation with other people, and so people will just stop talking to me or be rude to me. Well, it's like, I'm not trying to be rude. Yeah. And then there's also the fact that there are certain groups of people who think ADHD isn't a real thing, and that I'm just all faking it for views. When it's not true, because I have paperwork. And even if you show them paperwork, they still won't believe you. So yeah. And one of my friends has a sister who's exactly like that. And it made me so upset that all I was able to do was went in my room and just cried. Just went in my room, went on my bed, and cried for several hours because it really upsets me. Like, how would you like it if someone comes to let's say you're autistic, and I come along and say autistic isn't real. There's no such thing as autism. You're gonna freaking get mad and cry. Well, the same thing if somebody said that to me about my ADHD. You know, I get life isn't fair, grow up. I understand that. I try to grow up. I mean, I'm not that mature, but I'm doing my best, okay? And the fact of the matter is, it upsets me when people will say, Oh, you're just making it all up in your mind. You have autism. When I have literal signs, not like actual signs, no, I have literal signs of symptoms of autism going ding, 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 ding. And nobody that I know, and the only person that knows that I possibly have autism is my sister, my youngest sister, friend, family, because they also have a kid who is undiagnosed autism. And yet, they're the only one who understands me and understand that I have autism. And like everyone else that I try to tell that I have autism, think it's all ADHD. And you wanna know what I want to do? I want to take a baseball bat and play a game of whack-a-mole. Metaphorically, and I'm not going to actually do that. But my point is, it's just frustrating. So yeah, I can understand how it feels when people will not listen to you, no matter what you say or do, because it's so frustrating. It really is. And the truth of the matter is, I just want to be accepted. That's all I want. And yet, people treat me like crap. And I get it, people who are trans want to feel accepted, but the fact is that you logistically and logically and realistically cannot transition your body from a male to a female. And I know there's people who are like, why are you female? Because that's what they are. Women and girls are classified as female. Whether you like that or not is not my fault. If you don't like that, go tell scientists of God, because He's the one who created it. Again, not my fault that I call women and girls female, because that is scientifically what they are. Not my fault. I'm scientifically a male. And if people don't like that, not my issue. And I know people say, oh, it's never your issue. I don't say that. There are plenty of things in my life that are my issue. Like how I treated my younger sister, how I treated my older sister, how I treated my family, how I made my mom cry because I was being an ass, stuff like that. That's my fault. And I should have done better. But it ain't my fault that I call women and girls female, that I call male and boys, men and boys, male. Because at the end of the day, that is what you guys are. Boys and men and boys are male, and women and girls are female. Whether you like it or not, it's not my fault. You can get mad at me all you want. And it is still 1 billion trillion octodillion% not my fault. Why? Because I didn't came up with the term. Scientists and God came up with that term, not me. I'm just using it because, well, it makes plenty of sense. I'm just using something that's already there to be used. So really, whose fault is that? Not my fault. Because at the end of the day, I'm using something that is already there and meant to be used. Okay. And second of all, I just don't care. And my hair's all fluffy. See, the issue I have with taking a shower is this. beside my bag, it's whenever I take a shower, my hair will always end up getting fluffy. Like, I just don't know why it does that. Like, so I use what is it? I use a specific type of shampoo. It's to help with my dandruff, because I have like dandruff in my hair. If I itch, you'll see white flakes, and that's dandruff. I have that, and so I use a specific type of shampoo to help with that. The only issue, it does not help with how fluffy my hair gets. It really doesn't. I need hair conditioner or something to make it not fluffy. And it's not my fault. Also, this being curly is not my fault. This is how it's always been. It's just, I always keep it short, not like this long, because it's hard to manage for myself. And so I end up with like knots, and it's not fun. It really isn't. So I usually keep it short because it's easier to manage. If it's like this, it's not easier to manage. It's just not fun. Oh, my feet are asleep. My feet is numb. Yay. Also, if you see a little bit of redness in my hair, that's because I dyed my hair red. Also, it could also be the fact that I have a grandma who's a redhead. So, yeah. Though now her hair is white, but yes, she was a redhead, and that could also be why my hair's a little bit red as well. My older sister is also a redhead, so, but I'm more blonde. I have much more blonde. Like, I have a lot more blonde in my hair, mainly because my dad is blonde, so I have some blondness in my hair. My mom is brown, so I also have some brownness in my hair as well. But my younger sister is brown. Her hair color is really, really brown, like my mom. My hair is kind of like my dad, in that it's blonde, but it's also get some red and like brown in it. And my older sister is more like my grandma on my dad's side, who's a redhead. Not that I hate redheads. I don't really care. I just don't care, but I don't care about the appearance of a person, you know. And whether you like that or not, the fact of the matter is, the way I see people is by the choices of their action. That is what I was taught at a young age at school. I was taught to treat people how you want to be treated, not how I want to be treated, not in how I see them, but based on their action. Such as, let's say my friend treat me like crap, well, in my opinion, I have the right to treat them like crap. And they have the right to treat me like crap. And it's just this infinite loop of us treating each other like crap. That's how it works. But the left is different. The left will be like, oh, you this, you that, blah, blah, blah. All because of your race or your religion or the way you look. And it's like, first of all, that is not what God would want. That's not what Jesus Christ would want at all. Jesus, the Son, the Son, the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost, and the Heavenly Father, they all want, whether they're three beings or one person, I don't care. The point is, all three of those entities want those those entities want its followers to treat people with kindness and respect. I don't mean by kindness, I don't mean allowing people to treat you like crap, because that's not fun. I mean I mean being nice to those who are nice to you. At least that's what I learned. Because I used to be naive. I used to think everyone was great, and there could be nothing wrong. And well, I ended up getting treated like crap. I got bullied at the age of 8. When I was a little bit older, when I used to live in Idaho, Twin Falls, Idaho, we would be walking to the pool, the city pool, and like there was this dude. We were at the Twin Falls High School, and there was this dude. I'm just minding my own business, and this dude honked at me, flipping the bird on me. You know, I was just a little kid. And this is before I learned how to cuss. So, and that's because my dad taught me how to cuss by accident. Oh well. And that doesn't make him a bad dad. I always say he's a a-hole. He's not. He's a nice dude. I just like to joke around and call him names because that's just how I love him. You know, he's a really nice, sweet dad, to be honest, and I am thankful that I had him, and I'm thankful that he survived those what I call the useless wars. You know, the one where we fought Iraq and Iran, and we overthrow the dictator of Iraq, like back in the early 2000s. Yeah, well, my dad was in those wars. Yeah, and and the great thing is my dad survived those wars. The sad thing is he lost a lot of friends in those wars. You know, and it's sad because I could have lost my dad, and that's one of the reasons why for the longest time I hated the military, not just the military but the government because of that. You know, and the truth is I don't hate the veterans. I don't hate the military soldiers because they're just the tools that they are tools to be used by the establishment. If that makes any sense. I'm not saying humans are tools, but I'm saying that they are being used like tools by the establishment of the U.S. And so I'm not mad at the veterans or the military soldiers or the Navy soldiers or any of them. I am mad at the establishment for what they have done to the veterans and the military soldiers and the Navy soldiers and all the other soldiers that there are. You know, because they should be spending time with their family, like my dad is, not fighting these endless wars for no reason. And I know people say, well, they're fighting them to promote peace. No, they're not. They're fighting those wars because the establishment tells them to. Not because of peace. Because they're being told to do so. You know, this is also why I'm not mad at the soldiers of a certain World War II Germany, because it's not their fault that they're doing what they're doing. It's their government's fault for what they're doing. You know, at the end of the day, They're just being used as tools by their establishment, by their government. You know, if that makes any sense. And so my point is that's why I'm upset with the establishment of the U.S. is because they're treating our families like garbage, and I'm not okay with that. I love our family, you know, and it's not, and I get it, life isn't fair, but truth is told, even if life isn't fair, there are still some fairness that we can still achieve in this world. Because not everything can be unfair. There are things that can be fair, like treating our family with respect and stuff like that, because that would help. But no, instead we have veterans on the streets. Why? Because our government hates them. That's why. And that's why I will always love veterans. No matter who they are. No matter if they were, no matter if they did something bad later on, they're still heroes at the end of the day. Even if they were used for stupid reasons, they're still heroes in my eyes. Because my dad is one. And I will always love my dad. Bye.